Hello and welcome to another Creative Co-Winning film group video. This one's again on sound. What we've got here is my handy recorder, the Zoom HN84N. There we go. So I basically use this for everything when it comes to sound, and especially when you're out and about filming. It's a good compact device that runs easily sort of within your setup. Mine doesn't have a back on it, but that doesn't matter. I usually use duct tape. So basically this is a compact wee device. You get loads of them about on the market. Different people like Tascam, there's a lot of off-brand ones, but Zoom H4N I would recommend just because it was about 80 quid second hand. It's done me ages and it's really good compared to a lot that's out there, and it's easy to use, easy to get. So I'm going to teach you everything you need to know for your sort of understanding of how to use Zoom and what Zoom is. It basically is a type of recorder that has these two microphones on top. So let me just get myself in focus. So basically the Zoom has these two mics on top. They record this direction and this direction. They are used as omnidirectional, so they're two directional mics that go into one feed, which acts as an omnidirectional. So you could choose to point this at a subject. So if my subject was that wall there, and I point it towards them, it's going to record ahead. It's going to go to side in that, but it will capture their voice. If you wanted to sit this in the middle of a desk and have an interview with one subject over here, that side, and this side where the camera is, then you've got a mic coming towards you and a mic going towards your interview, and you can get your questions and answers. You can also just use it as general room audio or anything really. These are general good mics for the top. You could use it as on a boom pole if you wanted to get general room audio. You could set it up somewhere to get general room sounds. You can also record. I record a lot of radio, folio, and all sorts of things on it. So the microphones are really good quality on top. Most recorders you have are good quality. So down here, in the bottom, if I do this, get in focus, we have two inputs. Input 1, input 2, which is a 1-inch jack, like a guitar lead, in the middle, and an XLR. So you can plug either one into it. What we've got here is the power supply. That's so that you don't have to use the batteries like the bottom. You can choose to use batteries for portability, or you can plug it in if you're able to, which always saves a bit of power. Now on the side, I have our on button, obviously. You can lock it on so the power doesn't go off. We also have our USB connector. So if you connect a USB cable into that, that's how you can actually use this as a interface. So you can plug your guitar and your vocals in and record it onto a DAW like Logic or Fruit Loops or whatever. So this can be actually used as an interface. You can use it as a recorder in itself that goes straight into your computer, or you can use your two inputs down here. So we also have our volume up and down. That's just for your playback, so how you hear what is coming out. There's actually a wee speaker on the back that you can hear what you've just recorded. That's just the volume of that, especially in what's coming through your headphones. This can also be used as a line in. I've used it at a live setting, plugging it into a mixer for a very last resort because I didn't have any other cables apart from an aux cord, and I plugged it into a mixer and got the out feed. This is our remote, so if you want to remotely control it, you can plug a remote receiver or wire in and then control it from there. On the other side, we have in here our SD card slot. It just takes a general SD, mine's 16 gigabyte like camera SD card, the normal large size. Then we've got our record levels, which controls our microphones here and input levels, so how sensitive they are when recording. This is our menu button here to bring up the menu. We also have menu shortcuts to folder, file, speed, and wave and MP. I'll talk about them a bit later. That's to bring up the menu for your actual recorder, and this is our swivel up and down to control the menus. It's also a clicky button that you can control what you're doing. So if I go on to here, we've got these buttons down here. This is our input, so you can choose mic up the top here. That's mic, which puts you onto these, so you're recording from the top. You've got 1 and 2, which lights up both of these. That means you're recording from these two inputs, so whatever you plug in there is going to be what your recorder's getting. I'm going to put back on mic for now. If you click record over here, that'll bring up your levels. So now you're hearing what these mics up here are picking up. So if it clips up the top. So what you want to do is you want to use your record levels down the side to go up or down, change your levels. So 100 being the most sensitive, picking up absolutely everything, any background noise. That's too loud for this. So if I click up top here, or tap on here, you can see that this light here flashes, which means it's completely peaking and you're getting some clipping sounds in. So you don't want that. You want to make sure avoid that. You obviously, if you want to record, you want to kind of record in between the 12 and the 0, never hitting the 0 and up the top, because otherwise you're going to get clipping. So in between the 12 and the 6, maybe a bit into 0, 0, I would say between -6 and 0, it's too loud. I would keep it 12 and 6 and keep it around that area. You've got stop, play, and sort of your classic sort of rewind and next options there for, if I click play, you can hear me talking at a speaker in the back from what I just recorded there. You can play, stop, go through the options, like you can listen to everything and go through your memory card listening to all the files you've recorded, up, down, stop, play, pause. Now to record, I've got our button here. You click once, levels come up like before, starts flashing. If you click again, our numbers up here go. That means you're recording, everything's coming. You've got the two mics and you're recording. That's you set to go. Always make sure these numbers are going. Can't tell you how many times I start recording and sometimes I notice that halfway through these aren't going. I have to stop. So always make sure that you're going. These here take you into your options in the menu. If I click menu here on this side, if I click menu, it takes me on to my little bit here. If I use my swiveling bit here, it takes me through all my options. So the ones you need to know about are folder. This is where which folder everything's getting recorded in. So you could do one filming day in the top one here, folder 1. Then you could set next day, folder 2, so on and so forth. You can just choose which folder you want all your recordings to go in and split them up that way. You can also choose to change the file names. You can just change the file numbers on this specific device. If you click on the item, you can do information, rename, and you can change it to any number you so sort of want. You can change it so that you can have your own number organization going on that you'll remember. You can also, if we go back a few stages, you can also change your input settings. This is just a lot of how high frequencies you want to take, if you want your monitor on or off until you press the buttons, and you can just sort of change those sort of mixes. Phantom power is an important one. If you plug in mics down the bottom here and they don't have battery power or anything, you're going to want that. Otherwise your mic's not going to come on, it's not going to work. That's always a big one. If you plug in external mics and they're not working, you're probably not got your phantom power on if it's not got a battery in the microphone. If I go back here, your record settings are normally pretty good. It has tools in here like a tuner, a metronome. You can change the speed of, I think that's the speed of playback. Yeah, so you've just got a few wee tools and things to help you along the way. Metronome and tuner, quite cool. Down here, play mode is just to do with what you play. So if I play all, play one, repeat all, repeat one, it means when I click the play button here, it's either going to go through all my files from beginning to end, play just the last file, repeat all over and over again until you stop it, or repeat just the one file until you stop it. If I go down system settings and SD card, USB, this is just changing a lot of your modes. So if I go up to system, so if I click into system, that means I can change the date and time of which I'm recording, so that you can categorize everything by the day that you're filming. You can change your backlight, how long this yellow light stays on when you're recording. You can change your contrast settings, which is how it's just changed. It's basically just user interface, so if I don't want it to be as If I want it to be more contrasting, I can make it so that you can really see everything, or it all blends in together. Your battery, you can change which it is going to be, your alkaline and stuff, see all that. And then it's just your versions and your factory resets, etc. So that's just general system settings. Then you've got your SD card, which this is how you format it. You'll need to know, that tells you how much is left in your card, the remain. And if you click the format, this tells you format your card, which wipes your card completely. You want to do this. I find that people think that if you delete your files off of the computer, that's it formatted, but if you want to format your card rather than delete them, because it's better and your cards will last longer. Not actually 100% sure if that's true, but that's what I've been told. So don't want to format my card because I have some stuff on it I want to use. So format card you want to do once you have your backed up and it's on your computer. That's what format cards for. So got here, our last couple of settings are format. So USB can be used. It can be used as storage, which means that you plug it into your computer, and you can just use that as a storage device for your recording rather than recording onto your like if you want to take off anything off of the SD card, rather than recording having to take out the SD card, put it in an SD card reader, you can plug it straight in with that USB cable I showed you before, and then you can take everything off. Then our other setting here should be disconnecting. When you go down here in the menu and you click onto USB, your USB is actually, this is your audio interface settings, so you can set your frequencies, what you want to take in and where you want to connect it. Here, the frequency is just to do high or low frequencies that you take in, and that's just you connecting and checking your when it's connected, that's you monitoring the levels. So you can actually turn on effects, on or off. You've got your tuner, your monitor, your phantom power. You can control all that from here. I'm going to go back again. I'm going to have to disconnect, which will take a wee second. Yes, I want to connect that. It wasn't even connected to begin with. So now that we're back onto the menu, you want to go on to, you've got your final option you have here is mode. You can choose stereo, which records your file as a stereo file, which is handy for this. It's basically the same as headphones, it records it into left and right. You can record it as 4-channel, which means that you're taking in 1, 2 up the top, 3, 4. That's recording everything all at once. It means you can take in room audio up top and your microphones down the bottom. And then meter, which is MTR, which is, if it'll load up, basically is a little mini mixer that you can mix all your levels and do it all separately. So left, right, bottom 2, you can change it all, and it means it's all individually controlled, which is really cool, really handy. So that's basically how to use a Zoom. These 4 buttons will just take you into your folder, file, speed and WAV and MP. It means you can change everything. That's just shortcuts into your menu. But yeah, this is how to use a Zoom recorder. Not the most exciting of all the videos, this one, but it's good to know how to use it and to be familiar with. You want to be familiar with your kit. Just going to turn it off now. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed this. They've learned a little thing or two about Zooms, and you'll be ready to use one. They are a very handy piece of the kits. Yeah, they're really good. I think it's good. It'll be good to have. So, goodbye to you, and I'll see you soon.